Hey everybody, it's Dale.
And this is Eric.
And welcome to the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
You can find it at optimusprimecast.com.
This week, episode number 18.
Spider's Game.
Written by Larry DiTillio.
And directed by James Boshier.
This week, Tarantulas and Black Arachnia attempt to make a third spider Predicon using a crashed stasis pod, but end up creating Inferno, an insane fire ant Predicon.
Oh, they gave it away.
Yeah, they gave it away.
I have two alternative titles to this episode.
Oh yeah? What's yours?
The first one's Spider's Gonna Spider.
Ooh.
And the other one's Ants Be Crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I had one too. I don't remember where I wrote it though. Mine is, it's Megatron.
So, we open up this episode with a shot of basically all the cryostasis pods just circling in synchronous
so many
orbit.
stasis pods.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. I mean, it's pretty neat. Okay, it's a cool shot. And then, but at the same time, it's just like, that's not going to happen. That's totally not going to happen. They were ejecting the pods as they were spinning back into orbit. And like Newton's third law, man, an object in motion wants to stay in motion.
Unless it falls into orbit. If it fell into orbit, which is a form of free fall.
Yes, but if they fell into orbit, they would have drastically different vectors that would not allow them to line up pretty. I mean, granted, it's a really cool shot.
Yeah, it's a great
shot. All
shot.
the thing that kept on popping in my head is the Monty Python song. Well, a version of it. Where it's, well, you know, I got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There's like, no, it's like, I've got a lovely bunch of cryopods. Here they are sitting in a row. Big ones, short ones, some as big as your head.
And they do vary in size. Did you see how huge Inferno's
Yeah,
was?
that was crazy. I don't know.
Right, so we have those.
So we see them like just in orbit, and then we cut to Tarantulas kind of, you know, geeking out into his in his cave. He's taking a look at him. He sees what's going on. He's like, oh, yes, yes. And he's like pressing buttons, twisting knobs.
Yeah. Oh, his spinnerets.
And we get alluded to the fact that he, I guess, signals one to enter into the atmosphere.
Does he cause it to happen, or is it just happening? I think that it's just happening. Okay. I think that he is watching for this to happen, and when he sees it happen, then he triggers something else to go down. Because this is what he's been doing. We know that he has this secret lair.
Yeah.
Like separate from the Maximal base, separate from the Darksyde. And this is what he's been doing. He has been setting up this trick so that he could shut down power in all of the home bases to both sides of the war, so he can go do what he wants to do.
Yeah. He enables a beam. A magnapulse beam.
Yeah, magnapulse.
That basically blacks out radio and all. It's like a big EMP pulse.
Yeah, but he's safe from it.
Yeah,
it's two blue lasers.
Well, it's like a directional thing. He shoots them both in the direction of the Maximal base and the Predicon base. They both get knocked out of power, and both sides are like, Maximals, Predicons, lots of fist shaking.
Yeah, everybody's the Predicons are like, get everybody back here.
Yeah.
Get everybody back here because the Maximals have to be planning a sneak attack. And then, do we cut to the Maximals already, right away?
Well, the Maximals were the first ones to...
No, the Predicons, I thought, were the
Predicons?
first. Yeah, the Predicons were the first ones.
But yeah, we cut to the Maximals, basically the same thing going on. Prime's like, I was running an important simulation.
Yeah, he was running a tactical simulation.
Which, it's like...
He was smelling flowers.
Yeah.
He was smelling that flower that Dinobot got him. So...
But yeah, so like, oh, well, the Predicons must be up to something, you know, Rhinox says.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of it. It's just like, oh, it's just there to show you that stuff is going on.
Yeah, ain't nobody know what's going on.
Yeah.
But Black Arachnia has snuck up on Tarantulas.
Yeah. She sneaks up on him. She says, oh, there you are. And then he's like, oh, don't look, don't look.
Minimize.
Close his windows, close the windows.
I am engaged in important research for Megatron.
He's like, no, you're not.
I think you're doing important research for yourself.
I'd say you were engaged in stealing a stasis pod and perhaps reprogramming the helpless Maximal protoform inside into a new Predicon. Loyal to you, of course.
He's like,
Yeah.
so, do you find that attractive in a spider bot?
He's like, oh, you got me.
Okay, fine. What are you going to do about it? And then he draws on her, and she says, no, hang on there. And then she gets all flirty.
Yeah, she starts using some womanly ways, I guess. Being coy and like talking him up. Oh, you're so tall, dark, and gruesome, and of course Megatron's gonna fear you. You're so powerful. Blah blah blah.
Yep. But the thing is that she even admits to him at this point during this conversation while they're talking in front of his computer that she's the one that wants to lead. She says that I want to lead the Predicons, so I'll help you with what you're doing. I know that you don't care, Honey Badger. Honey Badger bot. You don't care, but I want to lead the Predicons. So whatever you're doing, I want in. If it leads to the overthrow of Megatron, then let's see what we can work out.
And he's like, no. And then
Sweet
she's
spinner.
Like, yeah. And he's like, no. But she's like, oh, please, come on, we can do this. And he's like, oh, please, I'm working. Damn it, woman. Can't you see I'm trying to... I have very important business to do.
Nerd.
All my calculations.
Yeah, he has to watch every single episode of this show.
But yeah, so then we cut to
Tigertron.
We cut to Tigertron.
Yep, Snow Kitty is out on the prowl in the jungle.
He's having a nice little walk through the daffodils.
Yeah, he is
tipping toe through the tulips.
Yeah, he's tiptoeing through the tulips. He's being a hippie, and also he's poorly camouflaged. He's nowhere
Yeah,
near.
the worst place to it's like a white tiger.
He's in probably the densest forest that we've seen since the show started.
in a bright white.
Yeah, in his bright white coat.
But he ends up seeing something coming through the atmosphere.
Yep.
It ends up being the pod.
Tigatron knows. He knows two things now. Oh yeah, when the Maximals find out, Optimus Primal is going to fly off and find everybody and let them know that the comlinks are down.
Yeah.
And that they got to be on the lookout for Predacon attacks. But and this is when Tigatron finds out. So Optimus has not gotten to him yet.
Yeah.
So Tigatron sees the stasis pod coming down.
And he tries to radio base. But nothing happens.
Comlinks are down.
Running gag of the show. You know, they're all in AT&T.
No, seriously, they are sponsored.
So he's gonna run off and go try to rendezvous with the stasis pod. That's all we got.
And it's like, another one of my Maximal brethren warriors coming down. It's like
Another of our Maximal warriors arrives.
when did the hippie guys get all gung ho warrior about it?
Well, he likes the camaraderie.
Okay.
It's the brotherhood. It's the.
He likes everything but the military, but the violence. With the violence.
It's the fellowship, but blood need not be shed. And then we cut to we got this great ominous, the foreshadowing of the big pile of fire ants.
Oh yeah,
when
where
the
the
stasis pod
stasis
is
pod
landing.
touches down.
Yeah, because we go to where the stasis pod is landing. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is where we find out how it's actually supposed to work.
I actually
with
have
the
a note
stasis
here,
pods.
and this is one of the reasons why I thought that maybe Tarantulas had initiated a landing sequence or something with the pod.
Okay.
Because it comes down to a nice little touchdown. The retro rockets fire. It lands very softly.
Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it does exactly what it's supposed to. It's like, so why didn't this? Why
hasn't this happened before? It hasn't happened before because all the other ones have been flukes. And all the other ones have been damaged. All of the other ones have been damaged. What have we had? We've had Tigatron was our first one.
Yeah.
And he was
hit. He was hit, and then he fell into orbit.
Yeah, he was hit by
out of orbit.
Yeah, he was hit by like a thing in space, right? He was hit by a comet.
Yeah, he was hit by a meteor or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, meteor technically. Well, yeah, meteor, because meteorite would be when it ends in the atmosphere and lands.
He was hit by a rock in space. Bots versus rocks, another major theme of this of the show. So yeah, he was hit by a rock. Airazor landed in bad terrain. I think it crashed and it was in bad terrain. The stuff was, there was no DNA to scan. Everything went wrong, leading up to Airazor becoming Airazor. But they were saved.
Black Arachneo was the one
captured.
in between.
Yeah, and we didn't see her land.
Oh, okay.
We didn't see her land, so hers might have landed right.
So it stands to reason that maybe that one landed correctly, but we didn't see it. And it landed correctly, but it landed on a precipice where they couldn't get to it. And
and Tarantulas was able to get to it first.
But yeah, so he heads off, and while he's making across the savannah, basically we cut to we see Waspinator kind of chilling in a tree.
Oh yeah, Waspinator.
He's
Yeah,
eating a fruit. Just
hang out
going,
in the
man,
tree.
this is great. Waspinator is so fun. Waspinator's good.
Waspinator
great."
happy. Waspinator see Snope kitty.
It's like he goes off and takes off after Tigatron, and the funny thing that I found is like he sounds like a kid. He's like, Waspinator gonna go get him, and then he's like, meow, meow, like a kid, like running around with his arms out like an airplane. And it's like, okay.
Well, Waspinator has delusions of grandeur. He lives in his imagination, and he is having a good time.
He's one of those type of bots that we just call gifted.
Yeah, he's a special bot.
You see Waspinator, and you're like, oh bless.
And that's where this is what. So he sneaks up on
Tigatron.
shoots him in the butt.
Yeah.
Shoots
like
Tigatron
square in the butt. And
Yeah,
Tigatron
like-
lets it this yow!
Yeah. He's such a stately character until he gets shot in the butt.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose,
I mean,
yeah,
I would
right.
lose my composure if I got
Yeah.
shot in the butt unexpectedly. Being goosed by a rocket? No, not in
Yeah,
my
this is-
to-do list.
But this is still, I feel really bad for Tigatron in this episode, especially because he got shot in the butt right in front of Airazor.
yeah,
Yeah.
because she sees it, and when basically when he gets knocked down, Waspinator has the drop on him. He's like,
gets-
okay, I'm gonna. Yay, Waspinator! We
Yeah.
did it!
Waspinator finish, Snow Kitty. But he's when he got him in the butt, he ends up ramming himself face first into a rock. Yeah. So he gets it from both ends. He is
Yeah.
really not having a good day. And then he's coming in to finish the job, and Airazor swoops in to save the day.
And this is like another thing that's just like, wow, like this sequence here is just kind of like the antithesis of like just how awesome Airazor really is. Like she's a badass chick.
Yeah.
Like why would like, and then that kind of ties back into like why would when it was released in Japan, you mentioned that Airazor was Bishonen. He was
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah, boy butt.
And it's like, okay, all right, but why would you get rid of such this powerful like female lead? This,
Just to sell toys.
no, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's sweet. That's sweet.
But yes, Airazor is a good character.
I'm flattered.
So
She's
like,
cool. She teases Waspinator.
Oh my god, she shoots the rocket at him. She comes up near him, and he goes and shoots a rocket at her.
Yeah. And she just swats it out of the air.
And then afterwards, like she goes and she shoots a couple more of her like mini rockets or whatever. From
Yeah,
her
those
wrist.
tiny like killer rockets, those amazing rockets that she shoots out of
Yeah.
her fist. Those things are sick.
then
Those
she-
always do way too much damage.
They shoot off his wing.
His wings, yeah. She clips his wings, and then he falls head first into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, but first he does a bug eye.
Oh yeah, he does.
He
a
does the
bug eye.
cartoony bug eye thing, and then he falls and ends up head upside down, where he says, "Waspinator hate birdbot."
Yeah, like I just don't. I don't know. Like there's a lot of cartoony stuff here
There's two.
in this episode.
In this episode, I think there was really just
What?
two.
2 as in TOO.
There were
There were quite a few sequences that we'll come up to as well. But
Okay.
up to this point, we've had Waspinator do the eyes. We had Tigatron do the eyes.
Oh, he does do the eyes.
He
huh?
does do the eyes.
Oh,
Yes, he has eyes.
Okay.
He does the eye thing.
Okay.
The eyes and the stuff.
he gets the Warner Brothers eyes.
The Tex Avery eyes.
Okay, right on.
But yeah, specificity, Dale. Specificity. There's a difference between Warner Brother eyes and Tex Avery. I have no idea. I'm just gonna
Oh, okay,
call
right on.
BS on this. But another thing that kind of happens, like after he loses his wings, he falls in, and there's like a tiny little rat that's chewing on his one of his antenna,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I hate that bird, lady."
Before this happens, though, before this, we have when we have that stasis pod landing all perfect. That's when I think that we have the spider bots showed up, and Tarantula starts messing with it. And this I liked because Tarantulas is doing all the same stuff that Rhinox was doing to fix Airazor's pod. So we're seeing this like direct correlation between the science officers.
Okay.
You know, I liked seeing the same tools being used. He goes in and he has to pull out the Maximal chip. They got this caged.
It's a caged Black Widow. It's another Black Widow.
It's another Black Widow. So he's gonna make like a fembot army.
Yeah, he's gonna make himself a harem. But like,
I'm like,
once
man,
again,
dude,
like
you
Tarantulas.
didn't have time to talk to this one, to the one that you already got. This is how you're gonna treat all of your sister wives.
But like, oh man. The thing that it's like, okay, like if we're going off of this whole thing that, you know, they're starting to develop like characteristics of their beast form or whatnot, eventually all these female spiders that he's making are just going to end up eating him.
They're going to feast.
feast and make babies. But yeah.
So he has to switch out the chip. He has to pull out the maximal chip to make sure that the protoform, because the protoform has already found DNA.
Yeah.
It is already working.
But what I don't understand is that it says DNA sequence halted. And it says please enter in chip again, or
Yeah, like maximal chip. The thing was, either way, it was interrupted. But they were not able to use the spider at all. They weren't even fooled into thinking that they might have used that spider.
No, he
like
picked
it
it
did
up
say
and
that
said, okay,
the sequencing or
form
the
found and everything right away. And he's like, what?
No! What's wrong?
Yeah, and whatever process it was going through was paused until the Predicon chip is installed.
The thing that I didn't like about that sequence is that it just seemed very, very, very plain. Like, even when Rhinox was doing it, there was a lot of different camera angles that obscured what he was doing, but it seemed like what he was doing was very intricate, very detailed. In this sequence here, it was just a compartment opens, and it's just a blank freaking slate, and then there's one chip on this slate that needs to be removed. Like, dude, you didn't need that, like, probe to go and pick it up. All you needed to do was just, use your fingers. I mean, he doesn't have fingers.
Well, but the thing is, though, that he's not working with damaged equipment.
True.
He's not dealing with.
Are you calling Rhinox damaged goods? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Is there
Airazor.
something wrong?
He's not in a situation where he has to save a life. He doesn't have to take pieces of Black Arachnia and his own programming to make this work. He just has to swap out a piece or two. He has to halt the processes that are already going, drop a new chip in, maybe plug a couple of digits in here and there, and then call it a day. And carry the one, hold up the spider, and then we make one more of our kind. He wants spiders because spiders have a special characteristic. What's up with spiders?
I don't know.
They're so treacherous. They're on a totally different trajectory.
So, that sequence got interrupted and then resumed. They're like, oh well, now I guess we have to wait.
And then we cut
back
he
to...
does he does assure Black Arachnia that this will be a Predicon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't know what it's going to be, but they do know that they have created a Predicon. Since he has created it, he is aiming to be in control of it.
Yeah. Saying, I'm your master.
Yep.
Get in line.
Yep.
Stay away from my spider baby, lady. Spider bot lady.
My Black Widow baby. The But and that happens before the Tigatron situation happens, and then we cut back to them, and that is when.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Big ant. Big ant.
It reminded me.
If you thought that any of these insects or any of the arachnids were gross before, Waspinator isn't even that gross. He's just kind of funny looking, even when he's a wasp. But big, gross ant. He is bigger than the spiders, and he is disgusting.
Yeah.
Inferno! Terrorize!
But getting back to the whole interaction between Airazor and Tigatron.
Oh, okay. Oh.
There's a moment where after they defeat Waspinator or whatever, Airazor's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I'm fine."
You go ahead without me.
Go and get Prime. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the thing, or no, go on ahead and get the pod.
Yeah,
I'm gonna meet up with you.
You go ahead to it.
Yeah.
You go get it. What it are you talking about? I just came here to save your fine booty.
Yeah, I have. There's just so many instances where she's very awkwardly you okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to be too I don't know. I mean, it seems like there might be something there.
Airazor is subtle.
Airazor.
I have that in my notes. Airazor is subtle.
But then when there's a moment where Tigatron goes and he looks up, he's like cross-eyed kitty.
Oh really?
Yeah. I'm like, oh. But yeah, I swear, when he was telling Airazor to go on certain vector or whatnot.
Oh, it was Vector
574.
You go. I'll meet you there. And he stands up and he can't move.
No, and he's like, oh, start internal repairs. Really?
I wish that worked on my stuff when I was hurt, man. Just say start internal repairs.
That'd be great. But then, getting back to Inferno. Inferno comes out, and the first thing that popped in my head is them. The 1954
giant ant movie.
Giant ant atomic monster movie. It was the first of the Atomic Monsters movies.
Oh, really?
To
The
be
ant?
brought out.
Oh, them was the first one.
Yeah, them was, and it was just them was them.
Them was the first one.
Them was the first. But yeah, I mean, it was really cool. It was just like, oh my god, I wonder. And then this all ties back into like everything that I was saying before with like the nods to
to
stop
classic,
motion animation,
classic stop motion,
classic
trick
movies.
photography, the like old movies, homages to things that came before. I like it. It's smart. Kids ain't gonna get it, but it's there for us.
Yeah.
So so Inferno sees the spiders, and Inferno sees spiders as enemies of the colony.
Spiders! Dare invade the colony!
Oh, the colony must protect the colony.
Must protect the colony. So I have written down Inferno is stupid. So this Tarantulas comes out and he says, "I am Tarantulas. I created you.
Like,
Come
you're a
for
spider
you can't eat the queen." And he starts, and then
for the colony.
yeah, and he already knows Inferno terrorize. This is an intelligent-ish bot. he knows what he can do. He doesn't really know why he does it though yet. So so Tarantulas and Black Arachnia are shuffled off into a corner to kind of cower a little bit. Black Arachnia is ready to open fire on Inferno and start the real fight. But Tarantulas says no. He jumps on her back, and this is the grossest scene in the show.
Well, it's like, he's like he mounts her.
Yeah. He's up on her from behind there. The bottom of his belly's all up on her big Black Widow booty, and it's squishing a little bit. Yeah, the rear abdomen thing, and it's like two wet black balloons that are just kind of inflated. They animated it pretty well, man. It was gross. It was really grossing me out because they look all wet and just ew.
Dale doesn't like spiders.
No, I was not okay with that. I have written down gross spider rubbing. But the real reason why Tarantulas doesn't want Black Arachnia to fire on Inferno is because he wants the pod.
Yeah, he's like, no, you'll damage it.
You don't. Yeah, the real prize is the stasis pod.
And then Black Arachnia, she's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to this guy. So she goes out and like I have here, ants be crazy. So like he's all transformed and he's like marching back and forth. Black Arachnia goes up and says, "Listen, you Predicon, me Predicon. Oh, hail the colony. Yeah, I know the royalty."
Not yet. Before
True.
that Airazor comes in. Because this episode is marked by this happening over and over again. I do something. No, you do something. It's like War. The game. The card game.
Yeah.
He's just flipping over a card. Or any of those, like those games where there's cards on the table and everybody has to reach in and grab for it.
Spoons.
Sure. So, like... Because Black Arachnia needs to figure something out. And luckily, at that point, Airazor starts flying in.
She's like, "Oh yeah, Maximal. She's here to destroy the colony."
Yeah, Inferno flies up. Inferno flies up, and he's like
his butt opens up.
Yeah, his butt opens up and turns into a rear helicopter.
Jet engine.
Yeah, a jet engine with and it spins.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, so he flies up there. Airazor's like, well, as Cheetor would say, but he's not in the studio this week.
No.
He's off doing some other show. But so Cheetor's not here, but since I'm here, I'll say it. Ultra Gear.
As Cheetor would say, that flight mode is ultra gear.
Well, the funny thing is,
I'm Airazor. We're Maximals. Welcome to the team.
Well, the funny thing, I have a note here. It said that Airazor still doesn't know how to bot. She doesn't know how to bot. She's just very awkward. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, let's give this a hi. I'm Airazor Maximals.
They didn't write me a catchphrase yet.
So yeah, as Cheater says, Ultra Gear. It's like, listen, no, Airazor. It's not cool when he does it. No, don't try it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not cool when he does it.
Why do you gotta look up to Cheetor to be cool?
Airazor has Airazor has
Awkward fembot is awkward. Airazor doesn't know how to express herself to the male bots yet. She really
she doesn't
does.
know how to express herself to anyone yet.
Well, there aren't any female
She has
bots for her to really
self-confidence
relate
issues.
to. Yeah, she's got some things going on, some emotional things. To which so Inferno's like, nope, you are also an enemy to the colony. So he opens up on her, and they're going at it for just a second. Like nothing even exciting there happens. What happens is Black Arachnia takes this opportunity to shoot Airazor out of the sky.
Yeah.
Which impresses Inferno.
I was like, oh,
Spider-Bot friend. And Black Arachnia, that's when she says, "I'm personal friends with the royalty."
Yeah.
And, I'm here to. I'm part of the colony. See, we got the same tattoo. And
she's like, I'm gonna go talk to him. She walks away, and Tarantula's like, yes, go talk all you want.
yes.
Yes.
So while she's talking to Inferno, he's being so disgusting. So disgusting. I didn't like it. He cocks his booty like a gun and lifts it up in the air and then shoots web out
onto the pod, on the stasis pod.
Then just starts hightailing it away. He's always walking away though. That I kind of do enjoy about Tarantulas. He's like, I'm gonna do something gross and then casually walk away while you talk.
Well, the funny thing is that it's not that he just shoots the web at it and then like goes on, but he like you said, he arcs his abdomen up and he's like starts grunting like, and then they cut to a shot of his face and it's like straining.
Yep.
And it's like, man, Tarantulas needs more fiber. He needs some psyllium husk.
Yep. We'll put him on a special diet.
But yeah, so he takes it. He's like, He just like, he gets out of here.
Yeah, he does his very, very important work.
Yeah, and the conversation between Black Arachnia and Inferno kind of carries on a little bit, and then he's like, "Wait, what? The colony?
Yeah,
where
because
did it go?"
they both see Tarantulas making off with the colony. If we haven't said it, Inferno has mistaken his stasis pod for the colony.
Yeah.
So
A colony of one.
Yeah. So they both Black Arachnia. It was a cool shot because they're just kind of talking, and she's like, "What?" And her eyes go all red, and she gets her predator vision on, and she sees Tarantulas making off with the pod, and then Inferno sees it too, and he says, "Oh no, the colony!"
It was the pod he was after all along. But why?
So Scorponok is dumb. Scorponok, we get to see some characters doing things that they were doing while the actual plot is advancing. So
we basically have Scorponok kind of in a crow's nest, like an old-fashioned crow's nest that you'd find like on a pirate ship,
or a submarine,
with a telescope like going in. And he's like, "What's this?" Or no, that's not him. It's, "What's this?" No, that's not him either.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends
What's
on
this?
It depends on the episode.
What's this? It's tarantulas, and
Something's chasing him. I loved that. It's like, oh my god.
It's like, no, dude, he's dragging something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's the thing. It's
Tarantulas is coming, and something's chasing him.
no, it's not evil spirits. It's rain. Rain. Fine, try and kill it.
What's that from?
It's from the Clerks animated series.
Oh. I'm gonna ask you that every time you say it. So alright, so Scorponok sees that and he's gotta go tell Megatron. I've gotta go tell Megatron because Scorponok heart Megatron.
So he radios Megatron, and Megatron's
Well, he
like,
goes to see Megatron, who is complaining that he's doing Tarantulas' job.
well, he doesn't go see him. He radios him.
Oh, he does radio
Yeah,
him?
he radios him.
No, comlinks
And
are up.
yeah, the comlinks are up in between that little room. And
Yeah.
we see Megatron just basically sitting there, like going, "Gah!" and he's like working on like some type of flying probe. It looks like, I don't know.
He's working on things because he's doing everything that Tarantulas should be doing, but Tarantulas is en route back to base and he's apparently being chased by something.
And it's like shorting out. And it's like, this. No, what the heck is going on, Scorponok? This is not my job description, man.
Yeah. This is
Yes.
why I'm the leader. I shouldn't be doing this. No. So he does get visual on Tarantulas. And he says, "Oh, you've got a stasis pod. Is that your game?" Yeah. So what's going on here? So now Megatron is clued in.
So we cut back to basically, a Tarantulas is like running into like a little corner, and he's like, "Oh, that creature's still chasing me. I ain't gonna have to deal with him." So they like crouches, hide behind the stasis pod, and then we have
And Inferno comes up, and is so elated to have found the colony.
the colony.
We didn't talk about how he marches back and forth in front of the colony to guard it.
Oh, it's so great.
He's kind of adorable.
I think they really hit it on the head. Like they made him a fire ant, and fire ants are really single-minded, you know. And it's like, I mean, they will damn the torpedoes. They don't care if they die. They'll chase after you. You ever step on an anthill, a fire anthill? No, don't. They're horrible.
As long as they don't march back and forth across me. But no, I won't deal with it.
There was a fire ant colony over by some cinder blocks that my uncle had on his property down in Texas. And he's like, okay, well, we got to take care of this ant problem. I'm like, why don't you just move the cinder blocks? He's like, are you kidding? Like the dogs got into it. Like, so the fire ants got on the dogs. They dragged them into the house. And we basically had to hose down the entire house.
Oh man.
I was staying with them for about a week. But like the way that my uncle dealt with it is he took a can of gasoline and just lit the entire brick thing on fire.
Oh man, is that the only way you can deal with fire ants?
Nuke it from orbit.
Yeah.
It's the only way to be sure. But yeah, so Inferno is like, the colony, and he runs over to it, and he's like, I found the colony.
Yeah, and Tarantula says, that's not the only thing that you found. Ha ha! And then he gets big and he shoots a web and gets Inferno caught in a web.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, he gets caught in the web. He gets pinned up against the wall.
Mm-hmm. And then Tigertron shows up.
Yeah, and then Tigertron shows up.
This is like the best part of the whole episode. What? I'll edit it later. It's okay.
Your alternate title?
It's fine. It wasn't that good. How many Dream Theater fans are listening to this Transformers podcast?
How many?
2. At least 2. So that's my alternate title for the show. My alternate title that I couldn't remember earlier. I wrote it on the second page of notes. I took that many notes. Copious notes. Yeah, Caught in a Web. Dream Theater reference. Insert music now. Woo! Ah, that song is cool. It's like
Such
6
a great
minutes
song.
It goes something like this.
So he gets pinned up against the wall. Tigertron shows up over the cliff edge and basically he's like, "Oh no, you don't!" And he shoots it.
Yeah, he shoots the
because Scorponok comes up and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
Megatron wants you, and bring that creature with you. You're in trouble. I told on you. And you're gonna get it now."
And this is the this was the only other googly eye animation that I saw, because Scorponok has squishy head when a rock falls on him. Does that happen because Tigertron blows up the stasis pod?
Yeah. Well, basically what happens is Tigertron blows up the stasis pod. Blows Scorponok back, really far. Okay. He runs into the wall and the wall of rocks, and then a rock on top of it falls on top of it. Rocks.
It's so violent you forgot English.
I can't make the words.
Yeah, so Scorponok is knocked out by these rocks. Tigertron is standing there triumphant, and then
Black Arachnia sneaks up behind him.
Yeah,
does the old Star Trek karate chop to the back of the neck.
And then Tigertron falls down, and now Tarantulas shoots Tigertron up like something fierce. He's got blood on him.
Oh yeah, man, it's freaking crazy.
The face on his chest has a black eye.
Yeah, cut my eye, Mick.
But he's like, that's like 2 really, really gory, detailed and Maximals in this episode.
And getting back to it, like, just a testament to how like really cool, like how the advancements in the texturing that they've been doing.
Yeah.
Like, because he is marred and scarred by fire, and there's different levels of his damage, and it's really cool. It's really well done.
His fur's all jacked up. He's got a black eye, and he's getting it really good. This whole episode, Tigertron is not the tough guy.
Cause he had a bad day. He took a one down. Tried to save the pie, but he lost it instead.
And now Megatron shows up.
Yeah. Like, oh, welcome to the party.
Yeah.
But yeah, he stands up and he's like, oh, you.
Yeah. And Tigertron's getting... And then... so Megatron's coming at Tigertron. These sentences are getting very difficult to say. And then, and Tigatron's getting more and more bloodied and beaten and bruised. And then Inferno cuts himself loose.
Because he's in a rage of the colony being destroyed.
Yeah, the colony's been destroyed, and he's got to make somebody pay. Megatron catches wind of his MO right away. He's like, "Oh, I like this guy." Yes.
Megatron likes him crazy.
Yeah, he likes him crazy. And then Megatron points him at Tigatron.
It was him.
Yeah.
He did it.
Man, and Tigatron just gets, his eyes go out, his eyes blink out. He is just getting destroyed. This is brutality.
Yeah.
That is getting exacted on Tigatron, and then Megatron is so happy. He is.
Oh yes.
And then the last trump card, Airazor and Optimus.
we have Inferno goes and starts attacking him, shoots him. He flies backwards, then he jumps on top of Tigatron and puts the gun to his head.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna finish you off.
Yep.
And then the big surprise
For the colony! For the colony! and then Inferno is dismantled.
Well, it's more of that. This is gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Because all of a sudden he's like, "What?" And he turns around, and there's like 3 seconds of like missile coming at him.
You got a little bit of time. He's like, "Oh, well, I'm committed to this." At least he has an excuse because he just walks in straight lines.
Okay.
Fire ant, single-minded. He's just like, well, I'll die for the colony. And he just gets shot to bits by Optimus and Airazor.
Yeah, it's just blown apart.
And there are pieces of Inferno all over the place. And that, like, the thing about that sequence was so much fun for me.
Yeah.
Like, not even like a shot of the episode. Like, if there was like a shot, man, I don't even know. It would have to be like, maybe like just how beat up Tigatron got. But like there wasn't like a single shot, but sequences though.
Oh my gosh!
This was like a couple of minutes of like, oh, I've got you. Oh no, you're here. Oh no, you're here. Oh no, I've got you. Oh no, I've got you. Oh no, it's Megatron. Like thing after thing. I was like bouncing in my seat. I was having so much fun watching this.
It reminded me of the ending of the original Star Wars, where Luke is in the trench and his wingmen are getting shot off and then are picked off. And then Darth Vader pulls up behind him. He's like, "I have you now." And then all of a sudden, out of the big, lens flare comes the Millennium Falcon and shoots him. He goes shooting off, and then you have Han go, "Woohoo! All right, kid, let's blow this thing and go home." Yeah. And that's kind of what it seemed like.
It's like that, but more compounded. Because if it was like Darth Vader, okay, Luke's gonna blow up the Death Star, and then Darth Vader's gonna get Luke. But no, here comes Han Solo. Oh no, it's the Emperor. You know what I mean? And then Yoda comes out from the left side of the screen. It's just thing after thing. They just wouldn't stop until they got every voice actor that was in the studio that day to come in and join in this fight.
Except for Cheater.
Yeah, except for Cheater.
So Prime goes and shoots a rocket at Megatron, blows a big gaping hole in his midsection.
In Megatron?
Yeah.
Oh yes, he does.
And he's like slumped over because he like after Inferno got blown up, he's like, "Oh, that's it. I'm gonna."
Yeah. Mouth laser activate.
But then they fly in, they scoop up Tigatron, and Prime's like, "Well, Airazor said you might be needing some backup, so we're gonna airlift you out of here." And Tigatron's like, "I hunt better alone."
Yeah. Who's a loner now?
Yeah. It's like, I had him on the ropes, man.
I had him right where I wanted him.
It's good. So then they take off, and then basically Megatron's like in a fit, just shooting into the air, just trying at them, and then Scorponok's like, "But Megatron, they're out of range. You need to stop."
And that's when Megatron just throws Inferno's head at him.
Pick up this rubble.
Yeah, that was cool.
Pick up the pieces of this infernal beast.
Yep. And so you just pick up this heap of Inferno and get him back to, let's go fix him. And meanwhile, the Maximals are fixing Tigatron. So we cut to Tigatron in the Maximal torture chamber.
Yeah. And he comes out and he's like, "Oh, you guys feeling better?" He's like, "Yeah, I feel cool."
Yeah. Why don't you take some time off? Just hang out here for a bit, huh?
He's like, no,
he's like, no, I gotta be with
I
nature.
wanna be with nature, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nature,
it's
man.
nature.
And then Airazor's like, well, but you could come back and visit sometimes, right?
You could spend some time with us. If if it's not too much trouble,
Yeah.
you could do.
This sequence I have written down is Tigatron and Torture Chamber. Tigatron is a hippie. Airazor is subtle.
I have written down here, Airazor Heart Tigatron.
Yeah, Airazor Heart Tigatron. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna get awkward in Japan. So,
So then we after that, like, all happy ending, ha 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 ha, freeze frame.
they
Credits.
all- yeah.
But no,
Tigatron
that's-
walks off into the sunset with his fist in the air
Yeah.
while Simple Minds plays.
But that isn't all. We cut to a shot of
The spiders,
Tarantulas
yes. Back to the spiders.
hiding out, doing his thing.
Yep, they're gonna tell us
And
the greater story.
Black Arachne is like, you fool! Megatron will kill us both now. He'll have us both scrapped. Like, why would you do this? Blah, blah, blah.
He says, I
He's
have to.
gonna find us.
Yeah, he's gonna find us, but whatever. It doesn't. Excuse me. Yeah, he's gonna find us. It doesn't matter. This planet is doomed.
Yeah!
What?
What?
The real prize is the stasis pod. This planet is doomed. That is my ticket off of this dust ball.
Yeah, like, what is up with that?
And Black Arachnia is equally as titillated.
Yeah.
Her
Oh,
spinner-
no, you can't just say that and just
Yeah.
say that's the end of the episode. That's all, folks.
Yeah,
No.
you can't say that and then not do anything. And like, tell me more. What is happening, Tarantulas? And he's like, yeah, just get out of here. I got work to do.
Yeah, get out of my
Yeah.
lair.
Yep, I got things to do and
Not
plans.
now, woman. I'm working.
yeah. Okay, yeah. This is like, I guess this is like another one of those parallel things there, because Tarantulas is basically saying, no, I prefer to fly solo. I'm just gonna do this on my own, just like Tigatron just was. And Black Arachne is like, no, you don't got to. And he's like, just get out of here. And then she says lunatic, and he says witch. I like those. I like that. That's the second time we've seen that kind of an interaction between Tarantulas and somebody else.
Yeah, it was really nice. Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed this episode.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
Like, I really, really enjoyed this episode. Like, I must admit, like, I watched this episode 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
I watched it. I'm like, all right, you know what? It's getting late. You know what? I should probably watch this just so I have like a little bit of, a heads up.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on, just in case Dale tries to throw something my way, like to, pull some shades, throw some shapes in the darkness. But yeah, I ended up watching. I'm like, whoa, oh my god, Inferno's awesome. Like,
Yes.
Inferno made this episode.
Inferno is a really good character, and I was like, I was telling you, man, like he like once he's in, like I really do like him as a character. Wait till you see where he goes, because he stays crazy. He stays crazy, and it gets really, really funny.
I'm crazy,
And
Inferno.
I
I
was-
put babies on spikes. Woo.
So I'm like super glad that he showed up. I was glad to see that this episode was here. We and then I remember this episode, but I didn't remember that Tarantulas was advancing a plot, which I am really looking forward to. But we'll learn more about that next week on the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
In the meantime, I've been Eric.
I've been Dale,
You've been listening to Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
which you can find at optimusprimecast.com.
High five.
Hi.